welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now and you're new to my channel, my name is Aspie, and basically I'm all about creating mental health and awareness versus basically taking you all on a journey with my everyday diagnoses of asbestos syndrome, OCD and the like, so that you can know me as a person besides these diagnoses, and hopefully basically know how I go about my everyday living, and we can walk in each other's shoes and get to know each other one on one. I'm also on the daily basically been sharing some everyday topics and everyday food for thought, shall we say, of messages of hope that will bring you peace and comfort to you all, of the everyday struggles you may come with the everyday things, regardless what it may be, and hopefully some of it will be of use and value to you all. So in all for the do, guys, basically right now I'm doing all about the learning disabilities, and this one is about the series of the dyslexia. This is part 9 of it, episode 2 I think, no, episode 3, which is the last part of part 9, which is like, understanding more about dyslexia. And here goes. So as we know, dyslexia, like many other disabilities, learning disabilities and mental health disorders, is lifelong. It is for life, and it's just a matter of finding what's best suited for us. So hopefully some of these tips and advice will come of use to you, but bear in mind some of the tips and advice that I give to you may not fit for you, but seek second opinion or advice or what have you if you don't feel that it works. It's just a matter of hopefully respecting each other as we go along. So anyway, number 1 for this tip for supporting someone with dyslexia, and this part about understanding more about dyslexia, is finding a supportive community. As we know, with the primary challenges that we come to face that is associated with dyslexia or any other form of learning disability or mental health conditions that aren't based in the learning challenges, but rather in the misunderstandings of their peers and teachers, we need to find some form of learning support or just support in general. Dyslexia is simply a different way of thinking, neither but not worse than others. If you can't find communities that accept and acknowledge the differences associated with people who has dyslexia, you'll be more able to help your child and yourself experience success along the way. Low self-esteem, behaviour problems, anxiety, aggression, and the difficulty with friends are all associated with unsupported people who have dyslexia or any other form of mental health disorders and whatnot. Emotional support for those with dyslexia is very important. It's easy to feel lazy or less intelligent than other people in the academic environment. It is based on the reading levels and skills. Number 2, encourage participation in a therapy or support group. Support groups for students with learning disorders such as dyslexia can be good places to meet others with similar learning styles. Group therapy are more likely to be more intensive than support groups and provide individualized strategies with the group setting that can help navigate your life situation. Look for a group setting that feels active, dynamic and positive though. In a group therapy setting, each person should have his or her own goals. These goals should be attainable, measurable and relevant for their lifestyle. Number 3, look into individual therapy. Some people may find that counselling alone may help. Working with a therapist can help people with dyslexia and other forms of medical conditions, along with their parents, better identify the way dyslexia, shall we say, affect the individual. A good therapist will be aware of the latest research and treatments for dyslexia or any other mental health conditions or learning disorders, and may use these techniques that have been shown to be effective. The client's own interests and goals should inform the treatment program. The therapist will help create goals for the client's progress that are both specific and measurable. For example, if the goal is to improve the ability to spell new words, you can't measure this and it's not specific. Instead, a more appropriate goal would be to increase the person's ability to spell words using the RER pattern from 60% to 80% accuracy on an informal assessment. Number 4, understand what it's like to be a person with dyslexia. Many people, as I said before, tend to misread us or misinterpret us for who and what we are, despite our differences. If we don't have dyslexia, you can provide better support for someone who does, by learning more about dyslexia, by just, self-educating yourself, reading about it, and basically, self-learn, self-teach, and the like I've been sharing so many tips before. I can't stress it enough. It make life easier that once you know the ins and outs, then we will feel we're not alone, and feel hopefully that we're not judged. But even though, as I said, it's not as simple as reading words backwards, an archaic idea people once had. If you have dyslexia, you're likely to have trouble reading words even if you've read them so many times before. You're more likely to read slowly, and reading takes a great deal of effort. You'll probably feel easily tired after reading, however. It's easy for people who have dyslexia to mix up letters in a word, such as reading own as one or left as felt. Number 5. Talk to your school's educational team about accommodations. A student with dyslexia might require more time to complete assignments or tasks, as I said before, in a given, or even in tests. He or she might need someone else to take notes for it, or to record lectures, or spoken information in class. You might be able to access your course material through an audio rather than the printed textbook that's given to you on a daily. Computer software is available for certain subjects that reads the textbook out loud. Using spell checker software may be permitted to help support the dyslexic student. Number 6. Notice the strengths as showed a student with dyslexia. People with dyslexia don't have low intelligence. Most people with dyslexia have above average or average IQ levels. People with dyslexia might be people-oriented and have strong interpersonal skills. There is also research exploring whether people with dyslexia may have stronger than average abilities in science. People with dyslexia also have other skills with information processing, such as the ability to focus on the big picture rather than details. As a result, they may be skilled problem solvers and more creative thinkers than people who don't have dyslexia. Number 2, being able to visualize three-dimensional information with these and to recognize existing designs into creative new ways of doing or being these things. Number 3, having good visual spatial skills and strong pattern recognition abilities. Number 7, last but not least, learn about successful people who have dyslexia. People with dyslexia become doctors, musicians, artists, architects, scientists, teachers, economists, and many more other professional occupations. Children and teens with dyslexia may benefit from having someone successful who has dyslexia as their role model. A role model can be used for building self-esteem in children and in teens with dyslexia. When you meet that successful adults who have dyslexia, ask what strategies these adults use to work through these challenges and maybe put them into practice in your own life, which might become effective for you. So basically that ends, the one of part 9. Understand more about dyslexia in adults. Give me the like for thumbs up for support. Comment below if there's anything I missed. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Feel free to message me on AspieAnswersAll or even direct message me on YouTube. Feel free to follow, like, subscribe to me because I'm hoping to do it on the daily for these videos. Feel free to also just share these videos around to family and friends, so hopefully that we can learn from each other. So until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for the support, I'll see you all again soon.